Welcome everyone to this little Yap Sesh we're having. This is a little new series I'm doing on the channel. It's just like more chill stuff, not heavily edited stuff. Gonna be talking about a lot of new stuff every other Saturday. Let's get into it. I'm sure you know by now what the news. Valve's cooking up something. I mean, a lot of people say this all the time. Valve's always cooking up something. I mean, they're on Valve time as it is. And basically with a lot of data mining, people have found out that they are cooking up a standalone VR headset. Now, this is something along the lines of what we've seen with like the Meta Quest and stuff like that. But basically only the Meta Quest. That's the thing. When Valve cooks up a piece of hardware like this, they usually do it for a specific reason. Like kind of what we saw with the Steam Deck. Nowadays, it's pretty easy to see a bunch of different PC handhelds out there. There are so many different options. But the Steam Deck laid the groundwork for what was essentially the expansion of handheld PC consoles. It didn't really exist before. It did with like the GPD Win and stuff like that. But Valve kind of laid the groundwork for the kind of quality and reliability that we'd expect to see with devices like this. Basically, Steam's history with VR, I mean, so far we have the Index. $1,300 Canadian, and that just includes the headset with the lighthouses. It is a steep asking price, and it is a fantastic headset, but by nowadays standards, it's a little dated. It's definitely impressive for what it is, but now with micro LED displays and stuff like that, there's a lot more higher quality stuff out there, and I don't think a lot of people are batting an eye at wired headsets anymore. I mean, with the Meta Quest's just dominance of the space, unfortunately, it's a bit of a smaller niche, PC VR. It's definitely a strong niche as it is, and I love it personally. Like, I've played a ton of Half-Life Alyx, and the mods for that game just open it up for unlimited possibilities. But in terms of that, there isn't a lot of good wired PC VR setups that are not very expensive. Valve hasn't really put anything out besides the Index, and we had the Steam Deck, like I mentioned, after that. And a lot of different iterations of the hardware went into that in regards to the touchpads and the things where your thumbs go on the thumbsticks, the sensor that does gyro. So a lot of that came from the Index itself with the controllers. Like I said, Valve tends to wait until tech works really well, and they don't want to be the first to market. But when they do want to go to market, it is going to be for a reason, and that's what they've decided here. So going over its expected features. So they're calling it, based on code names, Steam Frame looks to be the actual name of it. It's going to do two things. It will do standalone and wireless. It is designed to be a standalone VR headset. Sounds like it's going to be powered by Qualcomm, making it an ARM chip, which, if you don't know what that means, basically everything that currently runs on like 64-bit architecture is going to have to be translated again to ARM, which is a completely different type of chipset. And kind of like how Proton works, where if you launch a Windows game on Steam through Proton, it has to translate it into a way that Linux can understand. So after translating from Proton, because they want to run this on Linux, obviously, they need to translate it into ARM. Which is a process in itself, but it looks like, according to Sadly It's Bradley, that's exactly what they're doing. Now, what this means is Steam can focus on some good quality of life features, like their new Steam Frame interface. That's, as you know, I think it's just called Big Picture, or Steam. I think it's called SteamVR. But they're redoing that interface, and there's already some footage I'm going to put on the screen up from YouTube of how that looks. And what this includes is a pretty special feature that a lot of newer headsets are using, like the PSVR 2, and this is eye tracking and foveated rendering. So what this means is inside of the headset, it's going to track where your eyes are looking, and it's only going to render those specific areas fully. Put your finger in front of your eyes, move your finger kind of like to the right, but keep looking straight. And that's how it's going to look, but you won't tell. Like, it's just going to be a lot lower resolution here. So it might be 50% resolution outside of your peripheral vision, and then as soon as things move to where your eyes are, it's going to be 100%. You won't notice it, but what this means is games are going to run a ton better. And since it's a standalone headset, it's relying on a lot of things to run well. It's got to, since it runs on battery, it needs to run like pretty optimized here. Potential for a high refresh rate. So 120 hertz, similar to the Meta Quest 3. I mean, this is kind of to be expected at this point. VR headsets perform a lot better with higher higher refresh rates, because you'll really notice it if you don't have a higher refresh rate. As soon as stuff starts to dip below 60, you especially if you're sensitive to VR and you get a little bit of motion sickness, you'll really feel it. So 120 hertz for that, and for just overall responsiveness, is a big help. Now, integrated wireless linking. So what this will do is basically it'll have integrated wireless linking with, I guess, Steam Link, and it'll be Valve's own proprietary technology, so you can avoid a lot of expected data compression issues and other wireless issues. We'll have to see what else they do with this. Probably a lot of you are probably thinking by now, this sounds expensive, and you'd be right to think about that. Rumors are pricing this around $1,200 US dollars, I'm pretty sure, which translating that to Canadian is around $1,500 to $1,600 US dollars. Steep price, but I will tell you why I think that is. Valve with the Index has shown that this is kind of a device for the high end. They obviously aren't expecting to sell these in droves. It's from rumors, it sounds like they're only producing about 500,000 of these. So it's going to be a small amount, but I don't expect them to sell out. You know what? They probably will, because the Index sold out. But there is a reason for this high price that I think a lot of people aren't talking about. People see this price and they go, whoa, like it is a lot. But let me explain. There isn't currently a good standalone PC VR device that is all in one. You can turn it on and just it works. Right now we have, MetaQuest, which is solely reliable on Meta's own storefront. So you're stuck with that. Sure, you could sideload stuff, but you're not going to get the full potential of what you can get with a PC VR headset. Now, this is similar philosophy to the Steam Deck. Before the Steam Deck, in terms of handhelds, you have, I guess, the Switch. You had other PC handhelds, but they were a bit up there, like the GPD Win and stuff like that. Like, those did exist, but they were up in price and not very accessible. Steam and Valve kind of made that accessible. They made the Steam Deck was a low asking price, but what this meant for the industry was a totally unlocked software experience and infrastructure. I mean, I don't need to tell you this already. The Steam Deck is an unlocked experience where if you wanted to, you don't even need to use Steam. You can strip Steam right off. You can put Windows on it. You can put pretty much any OS you want. It's a computer. And you can use any launcher you want. You can emulate. It's very freeing. And I think that's kind of the idea here, is an unlocked PC VR experience. And that kind of justifies the price tag, in my opinion. If you're buying a $1,200 Meta Quest or something along those lines, I couldn't really justify it, because you're stuck within their ecosystem. And at that point, you don't really own much of the things you buy, because their terms of service can take whatever they want. Valve can do that too with Steam, but because of the way the hardware is, it is a PC VR headset. This is essentially a PC under the hood. And with what they've done with the Steam Deck, I can't see them locking this down. This is huge for the industry, because what this means is you will not be gatekept from modding and side loading. You can do whatever you want, and it is so important that more hardware like this comes out. This is what I champion on this channel, is unlocked future-proof hardware that let you do what you want with the thing you purchased, because they're slowly, day by day, we are losing access to this type of hardware and technology. It's just becoming renting and streaming services. And stuff like this is why I'm so positive about it, and I'm very, very, very excited for what this means for the VR landscape. It does come with the controllers called the Roys, which thing I mentioned earlier about Deckard and Roy. That's a Blade Runner thing. Basically, you can play like that, and these controllers will have very similar button layouts and infrastructure that is kind of copied over from the Steam Deck. It turns out that Valve just made an update a couple days ago, 3 or 4 days from now. They added this to their updates. It looks like a graphic for the next Steam controller. Now, it's pretty clear at this point that they're probably going to ship this with the headset, and the reason is because, like I mentioned earlier, it's apparently rumored that you will be able to play your PC games through this headset on like a big theater screen. So, and they're gonna do some trickery to make it like 3D environments and make it more immersive. even without this console, a new Steam controller would be fantastic. On top of all this, and at this point, I'm not expecting anything Valve time, as we know. But from Tyler McVicker, there are a lot of things that are pointing to potentially a new Half-Life game. Not sure when, but at some point. He says in his video that the trailer is being made. I don't think it's all speculation, so take this all with the grainiest of salt. And it's really exciting. Now, it doesn't sound like they're going to release this with the Steam frame. They could tease it with the Steam frame, but you never know. When the Index came out, it was a premium price console, but because they bundled in a Half-Life game, which, by the way, Half-Life Alyx is one of the best games, never mind VR, best games in my opinion ever made, definitely helped that console sell. So very excited that they're doing that, and if they bundle in another package with this premium priced console, it's gonna help it sell a lot. So lots of exciting things going on, and I'm really looking forward to what they're gonna be putting out here. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this little deep dive. This isn't like my usual videos. I just wanted to start kind of discussion videos on the side, because I know like bi-weekly uploads, like we put a lot of time into the main videos, but I know that some of you want to see some content on a weekly basis, so this is what this is. Do you want to see more of these? What did you think about what I talked about in the video? Are you excited for the possible Steam frame? It is a great time. The holidays are coming up, so very excited to make more videos for you guys. And stay tuned, main video coming next week. It's going to be something a little different, but unfortunately, my main PC died a couple of days ago. Still getting it checked out. So that video is going to have that entire thing going on. You're going to be able to see that. So take that as a little present for watching through this whole video. Get a little teaser for the next week's video. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. And this has been Nick, and I will see you in the next one. See you next week.